First World Order Radio. Finally, we are on the air. No doubt. All right.
There's always going to be somebody in the building on First World Order Radio.
We get on into some of that order consciousness tonight.
First World Order Radio every Wednesday, 8 p.m.
We got to talk about what is taking place on the planet.
There's always going to be somebody in the building on First World Order Radio. First, we need to let you know we're going to be doing more shows, giving out more information on Wednesdays. Wednesday at 8 o'clock, we are now going to make this the hottest day of the week.
Preceding others in time, order, importance. The most prominent parts, voices, or instruments. Earthly state of human concerns in existence, an indefinite multitude, quantity, or distance. System regulates to bring about specifics in the root based on value and natural characteristics. Current radiates electromagnetistics of sound through the air, same as your thoughts transmits it. Preceding others in time, order, importance. The most prominent parts, voices, or instruments. Earthly state of human concerns in existence, an indefinite multitude, quantity, or distance. System regulates to bring about specifics in the root based on value and natural characteristics. Current radiates electromagnetistics of sound through the air, same as your thoughts transmits it.
You need to understand how magical this something like this every Wednesday can become. So you need to start getting your calendar right, get your schedule right. You need to know our intention straight out.
All right, so, these clues are given throughout the various languages was to piece the puzzle of this ancient mystery school back together again.
And what we plan on doing, both of us, is bringing y'all some surefire dynamite. We're going to take this level up a notch. We're going to have stuff to do here. This is not just going to be about philosophies and theories, shit that works.
And we back once again with First World Radio. Dr. Alim Bey, your host. And we getting ready to bring on my co-host here, Brother L. Are you with me?
Peace, God.
God, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing very well, God. I'm gonna have to cut out on y'all about 8:30 because I got.
Right,
okay,
we can handle it.
Okay, more. How you doing?
Yeah, you know, brother is coming on here in a second, so you know he getting ready to light it up. You know, so make sure y'all have your questions. The number to call in is 626-414-3535. That's 626-414-3535. Tonight is question and answering, so come on, bring your questions. And Brother Panic, myself, we will definitely get some answers. Brother L, as long as he'll be here, we'll try to get some answers for you. So give us a call. Once again, it's 626-414-3535. Let me bring on Brother Panic. Brother Panic, you here?
Yes, sir. Can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Loud and clear, God.
Van Glorious.
Oh,
It's going to be one of the nights.
Protected by the
What's
rain.
up, Brother Al?
Very well, brother. How the brother doing? Brother Panic doing tonight?
Pretty good. How you, brother?
Oh, well, brother.
And how you doing, Brother Alim?
By the red.
The black. It's black and the green. Van Glorious.
All right.
That's going to take over the hotel from now on, Van Glorious. So, just so y'all know, I'm putting that out there. The Van Glorious. Now, what's interesting, and because it came down the pipe last week when Alim started to decode the Mandela stuff. A couple of things we left the fuck out. That there's an actual Mandela movie coming. That's what's going to say the story. And remember, we talked about the ritual they do on December 25th. That's when they're releasing the movie, December 25th.
There it is.
So that is the ritual. Now, I already predict what's going to happen. In the movie, guarantee you, they're going to depict him. See, they don't do, since it's a Horus ritual, the 25th, a new birth, they're not gonna show a sun god that's in our favor, which Nelson Mandela was. Guarantee you, the story or the angle that they give, by the time it's done, Nelson Mandela is going to be a man of all the people, not just a champion for black people. A man, they already classify him and whisper that, because that takes the impact away from exactly what he was and what he was doing. He was a champion for us, for our cause. But what they're going to do in this movie, I guarantee you, is make him a champion for poor people all around the world, no matter what color, what in what race. And what he'll do, and what this does is generalizes him and take away the power, and he becomes a tool. Excuse me, a tool or a savior for them. And that's what you're going to see born on December 25th through that movie. So be prepared for that. That's one of the things we left out. And remember, they did the same thing with Ray.
We want to dedicate tonight's show to Dr. Richard King. He passed.
Did he pass?
Yeah, he passed a few days ago. So we send out our condolences to the family, and of course, he wanted ancestors. Matter of fact, send forth your positive energies in order to get them wrapped in those ancestral wings. We definitely dedicating tonight's show to Dr. Richard King. So I know you want to drop some info on that, brother.
That's a guarantee. If you do not know who, first and foremost, his research alone in melanin has spawned half the people you know now.
Exactly.
As melanin teachers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He is the father of melanin. I'm gonna get the exact name of this book, which I have two of, which you can probably
melanin,
get.
Right, Melanin, the Key to Freedom, and the African Origin of Biology.
Yeah, key. That's the one, because that's the one where he took melanin out of just the schoolyard understanding of it, and started explaining to you about neuromelanin. Started explaining about melanin in the taste buds, melanin in the hearing, whereas he went through the entire body and where melanin shows up and why black folks are superior in that right based upon melanin, superior in our creativity based upon melanin, superior in what we can hear based upon melanin. And after that, it spawned a whole bunch of scholars to deal in melanin research. So you're talking about more than a master. You're talking about someone who brought breakthrough information of a standard that changed the planet. So he's definitely got a warm spot in my heart in terms of a brother in the struggle, and a brother that a teacher that I follow. So I didn't know he made the transition, but once that called to the other side, y'all can forget it. You know what I'm saying? Y'all can forget it. So it's in our interest to raise that energy up, because that is one of the gods that came here to teach us, and now he's returned home. So now that energy on that side, as powerful as it was down here in terms of life-changing, imagine what that power is once he's raised up on the other side, what we have access in terms of melanin. That's a melanin god. You get what I'm saying? That was a melanin god. So his energy back on that other side, what it would do for us in the melanin, I can only imagine. So it's in your interest to line up, you know what I'm saying, put your well wishes, your energy into helping him with his transition, put that positive thought so he could, like Alim said, join the ancestors, join the gods, however you want to look at it. So it's in your interest to be on that same page. So this show is definitely dedicated to Dr. Richard King. And you need to understand how powerful this is. If you listen to Bobby's last recording, he says all throughout the recording how Richard King was helping him, because Richard King had a few strokes as well. And Richard King was just helping Bobby and just advising Bobby on what to do, after his stroke in terms of healing. So I mean, this is a person that not just we should understand as a scholar, but has a, this is one of the guys Bobby Hemmett looks up to as well, and I know he does. So you're talking about a VIP. You get what I'm saying? A VIP and very, very important instrumental brother in the struggle who did a lot for us in terms of information. So all y'all talking about melanin and what melanin is and how melanin is, and each time somebody tries to back you in the corner, you pull out your melanin card, you have Dr. Richard King to thank for that.
That's right.
Because before that, nobody really had abundance of information on it. It was just something you were because you were black. But he added thorough science to it, so we owe him a lot.
No doubt. I remember back in 1990, I had a book in which that he written actually before the Melanin Key to Freedom and before African Origin by Origin in Psychology. There was a book called The Black Dot, in which he wrote a whole that, and nobody even talked about that book, but that book right there was thick. I mean, it had like 400 or 500 pages in it dealing with information on melanin.
Right. And there's a few books, I'm not sure the years, but earlier books that are real scientific, but you could hardly understand them. Bobby gave them to me, and he's actually giving me copies because they're out of print. So there was, you could study it and find out, but no one made it plain for Negroes. You know what I mean? It was a lot of technical jargon, which I even still have now, like the pineal gland and the gateway and the melanin this and the this and that and every other code name for it, melanocenos and melanodisos and all of this. And Atlanta this, but it was very technical, and you would pretty much have to be aware of what melanin is to really be able to appreciate those books even later. And if there's nothing that made it plain in the beginning for you to have like a map to read these more complex books, you kind of would be lost because you didn't know what melanin was for you to even look at this technical information and then say, well, this is how it applies to me. So when you get the Richard King and the Carol Barnes and all these people that came, and Suzar Ep, I think, did something or spoke on it a little bit. When you hear them and they make it plain, this is why you dance better. This is why you sing better. This is why you create better. This is why you're even addicted quicker than anybody else. All of these things that you can relate to, by the time you get to the technical books or the technical jargon or the complex books or the books where they're trying to encode information about melanin, because melanin has now been stigmatized as black people's color. So when you say the word melanin, you say black people now. Before you can even get to that, to understand that stuff thoroughly, it's like those were the scholars that got you there. You know what I mean? But in the later times, if you wasn't a real studier, you know what I mean? If you're someone coming off the bench. So, I definitely know we owe him a lot, you know what I'm saying? And I definitely know people do not know, because maybe a year ago, the brother Shabazz brought Dr. Richard King in for a lecture, which was a rare thing, and nobody showed up. They wanted to go see debates, as opposed to seeing a master scholar. They wanted to go see Jerry Springer shit. Right. So I know people don't understand or appreciate, even though they're going to act like they do, true scholars that really took you're saying words that you wouldn't even know how to say if it wasn't for a lot of these scholars. You know what I mean? And I don't think they have books, so they're not looking for support. They're looking to teach. So when you don't show up, it kind of says a lot after you do so much research, so much breakthrough research, not so much shit that you repeat from YouTube. You get what I'm saying? And everybody else's lecture. These are breakthrough researches. So you got to understand the kind of energy when you do rituals and you give your little ashes and whatever it is you do at home to Richard King or to whoever. You should take it seriously. The energy is very serious. So we definitely dedicate this to him. And see, I'll give a shout out to my man Can Do, who's in the house. Always, Can Do is a real ghetto shaman. There's about 13 reasons that I like Can Do, and I'll tell you a couple. The first one is, back in the days when I used to do my tapes, before there was the internet, nobody fucking liked me. Shabazz used to niggas used to come back and ask for their money back. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
So Can Do was the first one, and he didn't know it was me. Shabazz just asked him, "How you like that dude Panic?" He was the first one that stood out there and gave me mad love. And I was like, "Oh, all right." And after that, I knew him. Then another reason, we was at a Bobby Hemmett lecture, and Can Do is leading the goddamn little meditation. So I'm sitting there, I looked at Bobby and said, "How the fuck did he get to lead the meditation?" Bobby said, "That nigga gave me $1,000 before. He must have hit the number." I said, "Oh, all right. Well, he deserves to lead the meditation." So he's a good-hearted dude like that. And then over the years, I got to know Can Do. He's a real good sweetheart, true shaman, true magician. But if for no other reason, this nigga did a video with goddamn for Aaliyah. And the nigga had a nice shrine for Aaliyah and gave her some KFC. And throughout the video, the nigga's just getting in and eating a wing with her. I said, when I go, I want that nigga to set me up. You know what I'm saying? Y'all niggas gonna be sitting around putting out grapes and shit. That nigga gonna put out a motherfucking 2-piece, some biscuits. You know what I'm saying? The gravy. I said, this nigga's a real shaman, son. He don't play. So I want to shout out my man Can Do, and he always shows up and supports at the shows. He's a good-hearted dude, you know what I'm saying? Always in a good position, always in a good disposition, and always, supports, and ready to support with a kind word as well. So I want to shout out my brother Can Do from New York, and he's a good dude. And the one thing before we get to Q&A, I do want to talk about. At least we'll bring up something. Set it off. What I do notice, and what came to me this week, is there's actually a line in the sand that people are not aware of. There's two different things that we've seen to merge together. And I see a lot of confusion when we merge together. And those two things are the Afrocentric frame of mind and a metaphysical frame of mind. What I see is, are they related? Yes, they're related. But there is a point where they go two different ways. Someone trying to find a metaphysical path, on an occult path, is trying to go beyond the physical. That's what the word means, beyond the physical. If you have an Afrocentric mentality, what the Illuminati's doing, what they're doing to the black woman, what they're doing to the babies. Now, not saying none of that's not valid or needed. What I'm saying is it's a different thing from metaphysics. So you'll see a conflict sometimes when someone's under a deep metaphysical study or taking a deep metaphysical approach to something versus someone taking an Afrocentric approach to something, which has to do with more with your emotions or your feelings.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And there's nothing wrong with your emotions or your feelings or being emotional or having feelings or getting upset when they do this to an old lady or that to a young lady. But you need to understand it doesn't cross a metaphysical path all the time. Some of the metaphysics is not really that emotional as much as because the idea is you're trying to go beyond physical life, physical understanding or physical reaction to things. In an Afrocentric, your center becomes, or any centric movement, your center becomes whatever the issue you decide to hold on to. Therefore, if somebody violates that issue, You need to have an intelligent response, an emotional response, and an outrageous response. But you need to have a response because it's going against your center of thought.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have an Afrocentric thought, if somebody says something against Africa, you have to say something. If you have a metaphysical, you're trying to go beyond the physical, and you have supernatural reactions. You have different reactions than the average bear. That's
exactly.
what the whole concept of Jesus is. There was no man named Jesus, but his actions turn the other cheek. We're saying he is not saying somebody smacks you and don't smack them back necessarily, but what it's trying to say, for example, is you would do what you're trying to figure out something that you wouldn't naturally do or you wouldn't have a human response to something that's natural. Somebody smacks you, the first thing you want to do is smack them back. If you're a metaphysician, not saying you can't smack them back, but the idea that they're challenging you to say, can you eat that and not have a normal human response? That's what they're really saying when you say turn the cheek or whatever. So turn the other cheek, not just get shitted on. What they're trying to say is, can you have a greater response? Now, we understand what Martin Luther King was doing in terms of being a puppet and getting us to indulge in American life as if it is the greatest thing once we get them to understand who we are. But the reactions was an actual metaphysical one. What he was saying is, you're going to do human shit to me, and my reaction will be unhuman. So you're going to beat me, and I'm going to curl up into a fucking ball. Now, it's you saying some punk shit, but can you do that? Because I know I can't. Niggas just kicking my ass, and my first reaction is turn into a ball. You know what I'm saying? You're not bred that way. So the idea is you became this metaphysician, this person that went beyond the physical, and you no longer have the same typical physical response as everyone else. Now, so we need to understand, because I'll see it on Facebook, if an issue or a question comes up, we'll either pick a metaphysical mixed with an Afrocentric response. And you really can't have it both ways. You have to make the choice. You get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. What am I here to do? Why am I listening to someone who, because I'm going to tell you right now, I'm an occultist. Yeah. I don't want to hold your hand. And I'm really trying to explain to you in the nicest way I can. I really don't want to help you with your children, with your sicknesses, with your cold. Not because I'm cold or cruel, because let me tell you this. I believe you could do it your fucking self. I believe you don't need me to tell you this, that, or the other. I believe I'm studied enough to give you a certain amount of guidance, but we're only using me as training wheels for you to eventually to ride off in the sunset for yourself. So there won't be. You don't need to be 5 years asking me what you should do because your kid dribbles on itself, Patty, what ritual can I do to get a girl? What ritual can I do to get my kid to stop peeing in the bed? I believe in your confidence to figure it out. And if I tell you that because you have an Afrocentric mentality while you're talking to a metaphysician, you think I'm coarse with you. You think I'm being mean to you. You think I'm being unnurturing to you. Actually, I'm giving you the ultimate respect to say I believe that you know how to do it yourself. All the gods and all the melanins and all the kundalinis and all the pineals and all the vainglorious you have in your ass, all the hoteps you got to say, what does it amount to if you still need another person to guide you? If you still need another person to guide you, then you just went from one preacher to another. They just have a different dialogue.
No
doubt. I'm giving you the ultimate respect by saying do it yourself. I'm giving you the ultimate respect, Panic, whether I do this and just sending you my show links. Panic, how do I do this? Here's some show links. Research it yourself. There's nothing like instead of asking me, because I tell people, give me some show ideas. Instead of asking me to do a show on Kabbalah, which I did, you need to be asking me, what books can I read to study Kabbalah for myself? Why would you even want to hear my interpretation of it? You should hear, we should be building on it, not me preaching to you. That's a difference. That's a difference. We can build on Kabbalah. We can build on the Kalipol. It all depends on your questioning. See, if you're asking me when I read that, this came to me. See, I could build and say, well, try to read that and read this, and when I read it, that came to me. But if you're sitting there going, Panic, what is the Dog? What is Tipura? And what is Chisard? And I'm sitting there going, you're not even trying. You get what I'm saying? You're not even trying. At least try, and then ask me a question if you feel I have the experience. Try, and then ask me a question. You get what I'm saying? Don't just come out and say, well, what does that mean? Now, I understand there are certain people that come and says, well, you know, I've never done this before. Where did I go? What did I do? And what did I do? Sure, that's what I'm here for as well. But you could, with no one here is stupid. You know when somebody's lazy, and you know when somebody's truly seeking knowledge, when somebody's truly seeking you out, when somebody's truly looking for true answers and willing to do and go wherever they need to go to get them. We have to be those people. We have to be, as an individual, the person that believes in themselves. You can't ask me every week, should I be a shaman? Because I'll tell you to eat fucking sand. You get what I'm saying? Just for kicks. Just for kicks. You get what I'm saying? You have to know what it is and realize with your mind, as we talk in this is week 3. We talked in the first week, or I talked in the first week, about understanding, making your mind, and you are whatever you convince yourself you are. So if you're sitting there and have to ask yourself the question, that's the level you at, because you're still asking the question. You are whatever you say you are. You want to be the Fonz, get a leather jacket and say, hey. You get what I'm saying? And you're the Fonz. Who the fuck cares? Who the fuck knows? As long as you believe it. But you're the one has to deal with what you call reality or what you call unreality. You're the one who have to make yourself believe it. You have to make yourself believe it. So we need to be a little bit more confident in ourselves, because I don't hear the confidence in ourselves. I hear like, I did that, and it's working. But Panic, is it really working? I'm like, well, the shit works. You know what I'm saying? There was a sister last week who was like, well, I do this, and this happens. I'm like, well, that's it. She's like, well, I want to know if I'm doing it right, or what else could I do? That is it. Whatever is happening is supposed to happen, and is not supposed to happen in any other way. The only thing that can change it is your own mind. You do not need anyone to kind of reinforce that for you. Not from the perspective. I mean, it's always great to have somebody co-sign with something that you're doing. But from the perspective of it's a yes or no based upon somebody else, that's preaching. The preacher shit. So, 2 things: we need to be more confident. And we need to understand the difference between emotions and the occult and metaphysical, which we say that we're dealing with. If you want to deal with some emotions, deal with emotions. When I watch TV, I'm very emotional. But when I deal with my science, I'm very metaphysical. You get what I'm saying? I understand the line in the sand. You get what I'm saying? I don't get upset if somebody's calling a black girl a Negro. You know what I'm saying? I know better. You get what I'm saying? If I'm upset because of that, it's just, I realize that's an Afrocentric mentality that has nothing to do with metaphysics. So when people hit me, hey, they said that and they did that, I'm like, I truly don't care. I know who we are. Don't you know who you are? You know what I'm saying? And niggas will send me email, the black people, melanin ain't nothing. Get them, Panic. I'm like, for what? I know what melanin is, you know what I'm saying? It's emotional if I have to prove it to them. You get what I'm saying? And if I feel I have to prove it to them, that means I still haven't proved it to myself. So I think we should think on that a little bit, you know, or think on them concepts a little bit, because we need to be a little bit more confident. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Confident in our own shit. You know what I'm saying? We throw a lot of titles out, but the feedback that I get, you don't believe those titles. You want to believe them. You know what I'm saying? You want to believe all that Hotep shit, but nobody's really, how could you say, living it. You know what I'm saying? They're living the idea of it, and it's an emotional idea. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You a nigga. No, I'm not. I'm fucking Hotep El Bay. You don't know shit. Bro, I got a lot of melanin. It's like you saying all of that, but nobody's really living it where they're beyond even having to answer the dumb shit, even into the dumb shit. You know what I'm saying? If you're not in the Trayvon, then there's about 1,000 niggas saying how you shouldn't be in the Trayvon. Who gives a fuck? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It's cute for a second, but then we still talking about it. So it's like no one is bringing any information that is truly like life-changing or just advanced. You know what I'm saying? It's like you can guarantee what's going to happen or what's going to be said off of some shit that Bill Cosby said something. You can guarantee what you're going to hear for the next month. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's saying, yo, I did this and this shit happened. And everybody's doing some new shit. You know what I'm saying? I almost respect dumb niggas for planking. At least they did something new. You know what I'm saying? The cinnamon test. At least they did something new. You know what I'm saying? Us, we the same shit. It's too predictable, which is why there is powers that be that wants to see you predictable, because it just shows that you're not really going nowhere. What they do not want is you to get into yourself. They want you to talk about everything besides yourself.
Exactly.
And we do. And we do. We talk about the Illuminati. We talk about chemtrails. We talk about vaccinations. We talk about Trayvon. We talk about fucking American Psycho on TV and the witches shit. Yeah, that's all cool and entertaining, but I don't hear nothing that's cutting edge. You know what I'm saying? Nothing that's cutting edge. And really, if there is somebody looking at us, we walking around acting like consciousness is a fucking threat, I challenge you and tell you it's no fucking threat anymore. There was a time it was a threat, but now fucking Jesse the Body Ventura got a show. Okay, it's not a threat no more, because ain't nothing emerging out of it but motherfuckers talking shit. Ain't nothing getting done. You get what I'm saying? Nothing that's apparent. You know what I'm saying? Because as C. Freeman L. said, no matter what we do, we're going to evolve. So I don't want to cast a shadow or doubt on what's really happening. In the bigger picture, in the collective unconsciousness, which is a difference, we're definitely evolving. But what I'm talking about is if you add consciousness to it, then you're in a whole different animal. You get what I'm saying? So it's happening while it's unconscious. That's why they're attacking us steadily unconsciously. They're trying to interrupt the collective unconscious, but that's not work. You know, they've never been able to do that. So the only thing they could do is keep us ignorant and distracted up from it, distracted from our rise, and us believing that we're being stepped on and held down and nothing's happening. Us believing that is another way of us creating that reality, or perceiving reality as we're this underdog. You get what I'm saying? That we're this underdog. So we need to really start programming ourselves with the shit we saying about ourselves. We have now listen closely, and we'll move on. This conversation I had with Bobby Hemmett a while ago about this subject. You know, I started to bring up to him. I was like, it seems like there's two different things happening here. There's metaphysicians, and there's this Afrocentric shit going on. This wanting to prove that you're a special kind of person, because your hair twists up, because you got twisties in your hair or some shit. And what he said to me was, as he went through the lineage of consciousness, he was like, basically, him, Phil, Dr. Blair was some of the first metaphysicians to emerge on this scene. And the audience they had was Dr. Ben's audience. Asa Hilliard's audience. And these were brothers who were bringing us to Egypt. It was a big-time Afrocentric movement. So this group, now that Bobby Hemming and them and Phil Valentine are emerging and getting into metaphysics, the same Afrocentric group at its core, based upon Dr. Ben and all of these other things that they were dealing with. He inherited the Afrocentric group. The metaphysicians inherited the Afrocentric group. This is words according to Bobby. So it's been a long road for him to, and what he had to do and they had to do was take the Afrocentric mentality and start bringing the metaphysics to it. So they started taking the and this is the words they used. They started taking the history and added the mystery to it. And so now, as the generation of panic in us comes, we just straight thirsty for the metaphysics and the occult. So we're sifting through, because we were already proud. Now, we were raised by parents who already told you that your hair looks nice. We already had a lot of esteem from rap music. You get what I'm saying? I remember, just based upon my age, how fucked up we were treated, but there was still a lot to balance it out with there was a lot of images on TV, just a lot of victories for your self-esteem as a young black man from my era, pretty much, and especially with rap music, you know what I'm saying? So what this did was it took some of the need, for us to say, tell me why I'm so special out of our lives, or reinforcing constantly that we're not trash, because we had black kids making money, so we didn't need it as much. We didn't need it as much. Afrocentric. My aunt had dreads. You know what I'm saying? And I remember when she had dreads, people just thought your hair was dirty. You know what I'm saying? And I remember her telling me, work with magics, drink juices, and all this shit that everyone finds hot today, she was already doing. So all this was in me, so we were looking for the metaphysics. And I noticed that as well, too. I'll find more people looking for metaphysics or the occult, but they have to sift the dialogue that's happening now with lectures or whatever, or what it's evolved to. You still have to catch people's attention, the Afrocentric message. You still have to have a black power message, a message that uplifts, which is nothing really wrong with it, but it's built into the fabric. Why? How do I know? Because when I first came out, I wasn't doing none of that shit. I was like, fuck you niggas. You niggas had to do this, and they could not stand me. But now it seems to be popular. You get what I'm saying? Because now you have more people involved in it, and they see all this hotep and I love you, sister, was a bunch of bullshit. So now what I heard from people for me is, I like that you give it to me straight. I like that you ain't pulling my nipples. Like, no, I'm not. I'm going to tell you what it is and where you can find it yourself and so on and so forth. So people seem to appreciate that when they hear a whole bunch of people saying, oh, Hotep and Queen, and it's the same grimy nigga that's in your church. The same grimy nigga steal your wallet. You get what I'm saying? Who said Hotep. When they started seeing this, that people weren't elevating based upon this fucking language of Hotep and Ashes, then they started saying, give me something grimy. They started seeing the realness. So then it made me seem like a regular guy who could connect, which I always was. But now they're getting it now because they don't want to hear no bullshit. You get what I'm saying? Right. And so I just think I wanted to talk about that so we're just aware of there's a difference. We need to be aware of these things. I always thought that was a big problem. If no one says it, like I'm saying it, you'll just you know, it won't come to your awareness. So I'm bringing this to your awareness so you can think for yourself how, you know, how to separate it and maybe sort out the way you study a little bit more. Not saying you should be one way or the other, not shitting on one way or the other or promoting one way or the other, just trying to point out there are two ways to look at it. Or there's two ways that this stuff impacts. At least we're talking about two ways. So I guess that makes the point enough, and we can go to Q&A. Yeah, I guess we can go to Q&A if you're ready.
All right. We're going to go to the phone lines, and let's see. Once again, you want to call in, 626-414-3535. All right, we're going to go here to area code 719-719. You're on the line. Peace.
Peace.
Peace. Peace.
Peace, brother.
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Peace. Peace, brother. Hear you?
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I really don't have a question, to be honest.
Well, all right.
I'm just listening.
All right.
I'll maybe ask a question later. Yeah, I'll ask a question later.
All right.
Well, this is a good time.
404.
Okay,
go ahead.
No, I was just going to say this is a good time to get the little commercial out the way right before we get into Q&A. I want to thank Brother Alim. He sent me a package. The chakra rocks I was telling y'all about, oh, my God, them shits are off the fucking hook. But Khadijah stole them shits, man. Like, as soon as I opened the pack, she's like, ooh, you know, she started drooling. I'm like, but these are for me, though. But she housed them for her a massage. But off the hook. Now, if y'all don't know, I've been telling you, y'all got to go to dralimelbay.com, and he has chakra stones. Everybody's always asking me, where the food chakra, where that. Well, you can get them from Alim, and plus plenty more. But this is a must. It comes the way it's boxed and it's labeled. This shit is tight. I didn't know it was that tight. And actually, by next week, we're gonna do another show next week. I'm going to take a picture of it and put it up so y'all can see what it looked like. Off the hook. So I want to thank Alim for that and the oils he sent. And, but yeah, Khadijah house my shit, man. But them shits is tight. So y'all need to see that. Y'all need to see that real powerful shit. And it's packaged real nice too. And it didn't just come with a handful of rocks. I thought it was a handful of rocks, which is still good, but still, them shits is all labeled and in these chambers and shit. Shit is real sexy. So y'all need to see them for that. And of course, as always, y'all get an herb pack from me. Mm-hmm.
The goddess Dara. Yeah. She put it in and made sure that we get it out to you. Matter of fact, she want to say something. Probably more so about how Khadijah jacked your shit.
Yeah, she jacked my shit.
Two in there, so we will be sending you another one. We really appreciate you sending that DVD that we couldn't find.
Good.
But there is a handful of rocks, but like you said, they still good. So you got the $35 set. So
I thought it was going to just be a handful of rocks, but the way it's boxed, that shit is like professional. You know what I'm saying? That's professional. Yeah, I appreciate that. Thank you so much for that. Cool, and I'm glad. Oh, man. Yeah, because as soon as I took that shit out the box, these are, ooh. So how I'm going to say no? I'm be in trouble if I say no. I'm going to look all greedy. You know, she's like, ooh, and look. In my massage room, you start adding shit to it. My massage room, and this would fit here. So I'm like, all right. But I'm like, man, y'all really. I was really happy to see that. You know, y'all ain't have to, but y'all some good folks like always. And Alim's the man, yo. Don't make no mistake, man. He hung out my house for a weekend after he did the lecture. And nigga made me a fucking Reiki king, nigga. Nigga gave me the Reiki sneakers. Nigga DJ Reikified me, you know what I'm saying? I had a Reiki certificate, so you niggas fuck around, y'all might get Reiki the fuck on. So yeah, he hooked me, Sean Cook, taught us the Reiki techniques, you know what I'm saying? And there's usually 3 sessions, but he went through all the sessions with us. Real powerful shit. And Khadijah as well. So she got her the Reiki thing. We got our certificates from Alim. Good brother, man. So I want to thank you for that, man. That was hooked up. And one of them senses good. I know one of them was the one. The other one was real good. I like that scent. That y'all sent. You sent 2 oils. One was like, it's kind of greenish. It's off the hook. So thanks for that. And y'all need to check those out. So that's dralimlbay.com. And let's see, finish this infomercial. Of course, y'all can get panic packs from me. If you don't know what a panic pack is, let me break it down because people are still asking. All natural herbs. There are no drugs. You can smoke them or drink them as a tea. It's a special combination I came up with. We've been doing this for like close to 4 or 5 years now. And what it does is it opens up the pineal gland. It is medicine for the pineal, the third eye, all natural. It will help you in your meditations, your focus. People say they have a lot of chatter in their head when they meditate sometimes. It helps with that. Helps calm people. Some people smoke it with weed. And if you're a weed smoker, this should... First of all, it'll stretch your weed out, and then second of all, it still opens up the pineal. So if you're a weed smoker, smoke a little weed. Like I said, if you don't smoke, you can also drink it as a tea. It still does its work. And I've heard, if there's 25 things that can possibly happen, I've heard 30 things that people said it has done for them, all positive, all something that helps them in their meditation, in their consciousness. So if you haven't heard it, and it's very cheap, email me at panicpack@hotmail.com to get the info, the way to get it. If you haven't gotten one, you late, and people are already up on their 8th and 9th packs. This has been going on for a long time. But there's other different packs that specialize in different things, love, hex, money, so on and so forth, spiritual baths, other items that were came about during lectures, certain magical things. So you need to see a list, see what's going on, certain out-of-print books, and classes. This cycle, I'm starting Sunday. So you missed this cycle, but you get ready for the next cycle. I'm doing basically month to month, somewhere around that time. Very reasonably priced. And like I said, these classes that I do, they're through Skype. So if you're in the area, you can come through to the class. And if you're not, you can do it via Skype. I've taught everyone around the world. We're on the 10th or 11th cycle now. And this has been going good. Like I said, you don't have to take my word for it. You can ask the people in class and tell you what they're getting out of it. And we're talking about this is serious. There's a sister, I don't want to give her name. Her first name is Beverly. She said she only heard me once and was so goddamn impressed that she joined the class. So I sent her links, which anyone could get, to all my shows. You can email me, panicpack@hotmail.com, send you links to the show so she can get up on all the stuff we've been doing. But that's how serious it is. She heard it, and she was just that impressed. And so it's definitely on. And my man Jerry Miller, y'all don't know what Orgon is. Y'all need to check that up, that Organite. And Jerry is a master craftsman with it. He makes all sorts of doodads and pyramids and charms and knickknacks with Orgon. and they are powerful, real cutting-edge shit. Scarabs and pyramids and you name it, all sorts of hot shit. You need to see what he has. If you can't, contact Jerry through Facebook is where you can get him. If you can't get him there, email me, and I'll forward his information to you, tinypack@hotmail.com. And that's the end of the infomercial, and we'll get to Q&A now.
All right, we're going to go back to the phone lines. We're going to go to, let me see the area code here. You're going to go to area code 404. 404, you on the line.
Yo, what's good, family? How y'all doing tonight?
Hey, what's up, brother?
Well. All right.
Okay, cool. Man, so I want to tell Penny I appreciate the information you dropped, man. It's like, it's really helped me progress as far as, like, my spiritual and intellectual development, man, because I felt myself being stuck. Being stuck, man, because I was like part of that, I guess, that Afrocentric mentality. But you know, like you were saying earlier, that Afrocentric mentality, it keeps you like kind of it keeps you quicksand in emotion because you're constantly in this mode where you have to where you're trying to look for self-assurance and self-confidence. You're constantly trying to do something.
And you always got to defend something. You always got to stand up and be emotionally pulled, and they will always give you something. You know? Right. And they will always give you something to prove to them. Yes.
Right. You know,
and I'm glad you said the exact words, because that's the kind of feeling I feel when I talk to people and hear their consciousness without them even being aware of it, that they're stuck. And, you know, you hate to say, brother, you stuck, because it seems like I'm arrogant if I say that. But I know between me and that person and the question they're answering, I know they have a roadblock. They never explain it to me like that, but they're basically, if I'm just saying, it's a roadblock. You know what I'm saying? When after I hear what they're saying, I'm saying, oh, you can't get an answer, not because you can't figure out the answer, because you're stuck emotionally there. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
You're stuck trying to figure out an equation that the idea of becoming a metaphysician is saying, I've given up trying to figure out this human equation. I'm going beyond it. You get what I'm saying? We're not trying to become what we were already as rulers of the planet Earth. We already rule planet Earth. We're trying to move on to something else. You get what I'm saying?
But
so to be something else,
but it's like even if you're not even talking about the spiritual concepts of it, you know, what I found is like the Afrocentric mentality, it keeps black people like in this perpetual victimhood.
You're victimized.
Yes, it does.
Right. You're not even like empowering ourselves to even do anything on a physical level.
Keeps you disempowered. It keeps you the champion of a worthless cause. You get what I'm saying?
Right, because like in the mind of Afrocentric, white people are the devil. You know, so it's like they're already this demigod persona, like this all-encompassing evil figure that can quash anything you do. So it's like the most powerful thing that Afrocentric black people do is to constantly point out the faults of white people and try to shame them into doing something better. And it's like, dude, that's such a bottom bitch mentality. You know, it's like, why would you even put yourself in that position?
It is.
But that's something metaphysical. Right now I'm in the Necronomicon, and I'm kind of right now I'm like, you know, reading through the different vignettes, different stories and whatnot, and I'm trying to I guess get a grasp on the relationship between the elder things and the older ones, like Cthulhu and stuff like that. Like in my mind, like how I was working it out, is that the elder things are kind of like the demiurge in that respect.
Yes.
And that Cthulhu, you know, and that Cthulhu being like the, you know, submerged in the ocean, it's like the psyche, you know, or the pineal gland of black people, you know. of the black man.
I don't want to give too much away because I did a whole chapter decoding Lovecraft's monsters to the human body. But Cthulhu is the soul.
Okay.
Cthulhu is the soul buried in the body. Earth being the body, and the soul will rise. Now, in mythology, that's just the realm of Osiris, or the same great father of Hades returning to Titans. Is the same thing over and over. But Nyarlathotep is the pineal gland.
Okay.
And as the messenger. But I'm not going to give too much away because I did a whole badass chapter on it in the book. And by the time this shit come out, by the time this shit come out, I'll be done told everybody everything. But that's one of the a real good chapter. I decoded the Necronomicon. It's very hard. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Shub Niggurath.
And I kind of got that, like the 7 portals under Iram. I like the 7 chakras and things like that. That was kind of obvious.
It's a little bit more. The primal energies is not just the 7 chakras. You got the I'll just give you a little bit. Hypothalamus, 4th dimension. Because Barbazoa, the daughter, represents the fallen daughter of Kundalini. Azathoth is melanin.
Okay.
Remember melanin? Remember Nyarlathotep? Their connection. And Azathoth
they're like half brothers and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah, melanin and the pineal gland work together. Once the Kundalini rises, it hits the pineal gland. That's the and so Azathoth's daughter is Barbazoa, is the one he went crazy for that left and went to Earth. And Nyarlathotep gives her the messages, pineal gland.
Okay.
I'm not gonna say anymore. It's coming soon. About to edit it. It's coming soon. But I went through it.
I look forward to that. I look forward to that release.
That was one of my things. Yeah,
don't let your book be like Detox, man.
Say again?
I said, don't let your book be like the Detox album.
Yeah, I know what you're saying, though. I know what you're saying.
So,
I went through the Necronomicon hard. Oh, yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, I just this past week, I've been cause I picked up on you real late, but I started with like the book suggestions you had, man. That reading list, man, that was like some deep stuff. It's like like $100,000 worth of books in there, but the little that I have gotten, and based off
of what stands out, right? Just get what stands out.
Yeah, and compliment. And supplement to to your lecture, things like that, especially the movie breakdowns, has really like helped me progress. I just finished watching Big Fish yesterday. I watched Sublime last week. And that whole like especially that that monologue Odu gives.
That one scene was that one scene coming out of his mouth was like fucking a phenomenon. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly. It's like and I can see
that's the movie
why
Sublime.
Right, that scene was powerful.
Yeah, Big Fish was also off the hook too. It was about using your mind to create your own reality. You know what I'm saying?
Right, exactly.
Using your mind. And actually, I'm glad you brought that up because in the end, when he died, he became a big fish. Because that's exactly what I was talking about. That's exactly what I was talking about. You make whatever your end result is, your reality is. If you believe it, then it's real. So this dude believed his own stories, and it became real. And that's exactly what we were talking about. In the first week, we started this particular series that what you believe or convince yourself of is the reality that you go into.
Exactly.
So he wanted to be
I kind of got hooked on that type of. I got hooked on that perspective reading Michael Talbot's book, Holographic Universe.
Right.
It like broke things down. It wasn't necessarily spiritual. It had some spiritual components to it, but it scientifically, intellectually broke it down. It's like, look, man, the universe is it's a hologram. What you see is not really what it is. It's it's an interpretation. It's of what's going through your brain. You know, like it's basically a grouping of electrons configured to look like a certain thing. You know.
Right. That's all the shit they were talking about in the Matrix. Your mind builds the framework and you know, all that. You think this is air you're breathing and you know what I mean. All that is long ways of saying the same shit. In Kabbalah, it's the same thing. They talk about. There's the archetype world that's folded over on itself, that copied itself. That's an afterthought. So we're in the afterthought of a copy of an archetype world. So I mean, there's in no matter where you go in the science, that you'll hear about that or that type of thing, to where you put it all together. That's why it's so key to read so many different studies and be able to use one word, correspondence, to be able to see the same story in another story, because it's all the same thing. There's just different ways of explaining a science.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. Because to me it's important to not be like, well, I only study metaphysics or I only study like the physical hard sciences. Like, well, look, if both things have a semblance of truth in them, then they'll have some correspondence, and it's like and that's what it is.
Right.
You have.
It's your job. It's your job to find the correspondence, even in things that seem unlike each other. Once you start doing that, you're starting to think holistically in terms of your approach.
Yes.
So that's actually one of the biggest things that need to be done, and that's one of the things I teach in my class. Of one of the approaches is how to start putting things together into so it's one understanding. The first thing I do is take all of these different categories that we study and give them a baseline for that. That's what I do in the class. And once they have that baseline, they could, whatever comes across the table, they could keep bringing it back to that common denominator. And once they do that, they can have a way to understand what seems like a lot of information into one understanding, and that's very key. That's very key. And once I start showing them the one key and the one understanding, they're able to walk on their own without having to call me 3 weeks later and go, "What does that mean?" They're able to use that same framework for whatever comes down the pipe. And once they have, once you get the core,
to search the answer.
Say again.
Well, at least have the confidence to go within yourself to search for the answer. Because, you know, based off my understanding of the readings, it's like...
What I found out is that our ability to research and our methodology for study has been tampered with. Yeah. So if you go through the regular public school system, if people are trying to use that technology or that subjugated approach to learn information that was not meant to learn this way. Right. Our ancient informations weren't taught in subjects, in categories. It was taught holistically. So, for instance, if you were to learn about a tree, you would holistically learn about that tree. You would touch it, smell it, climb it, eat from it, all in one sitting. Know the science, the mathematics, the history of it, through story, all in one sitting, the importance of it in one sitting. So as opposed to learning math, science, social studies, taking a break, and then going to lunch, then coming back, all that's subjugated, and white people have to learn in those sections. You get what I'm saying? They can't take the whole. They can't take the whole thing. It's actually on computers. One is called RISC, and one is called CISC technology. There was some process, I can't remember the difference. I remember this from school. There were some processors that process chunks of information. So, for instance, if Alim had to write a paper and he's writing, 10 megahertz, it would take a megahertz at a time in process. And then there's some that would take it in a series where it would take the straight 10, the RISC or the CISC, which one. So one was found more effective than the other, and one does this, and one became Pentium, and one became AMD processors. In other words, there's a processor, because the computer, like every other mechanical information, is set up to mimic humanity, how humans think. Blood, anything, cars, it's in, out, waste, eat, waste, blood circulation, and so on. It's same template. So the processor is set up like the brain, or like the white man or the black man's brain. And subjugated thought is what the white people could deal with. They could deal with tiny bits of information, while we could deal with holistic information. And we're holistic people. So now, with that being said, because we will only learn to study one way, when we take our ancient holistic information, we try to learn it in subjects again. That's why we're fucking caught in areas. This one's a Nubian, and this one's a goddamn whatever, and this one's a Christian, and this one's a that. Because we're caught in these areas where we don't even see where these things are the same fucking thing. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
Because we've been subjugated.
I definitely understand the benefits of just not having a label. Because when you don't have a label, you don't have boundaries. You don't have these self-imposed boundaries, and you also don't have these. Because anytime you have like a grouping of people, man, or any type of like people that are affiliated based on a specific perspective and realm of thinking, you automatically have people that have like hierarchies, and they have they have a dogma. Eventually, it devolves into a dogma. It's
definitely going to evolve into a dogma. But even before dogma, the problem is you can't elevate past whatever the understanding is. That makes them call themselves whoever. If you're a Boy Scout, you can't sell Girl Scout cookies because it's not Boy Scout like. So the dogma and all that stuff is pretty much built in. You know what I mean? It's just a matter of time before it becomes damaging. You get what I'm saying? But in the beginning, it may elevate somebody. If you're a Weeblo or Brownie, becoming a Boy Scout is the shit. But after being a Boy Scout for a certain amount of time, that's it. You know what I'm saying? You need to move on from there. Then it becomes damaging. So it's
before I started on this particular path, I grew up Christian. And it's like it's like grew kind of like popularly Christian. Was kind of like the half-ass Christian. It's like you kind of like pick and choose from the Bible, or don't fit, you kind of like conveniently ignore.
It don't fit.
Right, and then I went the complete fundamental route, where it's like, we were gonna like completely try to be authentic and genuine and not kind of be like half-ass hypocrites about it, but then I had to move on because I saw the constraints and I saw the limitations of it. And at first I was just like, fuck it, I'll just go to hell. Fuck all this other bullshit. It's like it's too much. How can you not go to hell?
In this context, though, what we're talking about is because you understand any group could be fucked up. That's clearly obvious. What we're talking about is why we get in groups in the first place. Is because of the way we think. We need to pull it together a little bit more holistically, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. We need to be able to take one thing and find the commonality in the next thing with it. You get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And once we do that, then you'll start to see this information starts to shrink, and it's not as complex. It's not as complex as it seems. And so we want to go to the next caller, brother, and I hope that answers your question.
Okay, I appreciate that. Before you let me go, could you tell me the next time you're going to have like a class, your classes available so I can save up for that?
I would just say just email me, and because I never have the date a month in advance because it's about getting a lot of people on the same page. But But what we do know now is I'm starting a new cycle this week, so it'll be at least a month. So it's going to be at least a month for the next one. We're going to be probably at the end of January for the next one because we're about to start. But it's really about getting everybody, you know, on the same page. You know, we're doing more than one person. I can't just say it's class time, but everybody has to, you know, be ready, be paid up, and, you know, so on and so forth. But approximately about a month.
Okay, cool. Appreciate that, man.
No problem, brother.
All right, peace.
Yes, Brother Panic?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, brother. What you were talking about a little earlier about Europeans cannot learn the way we should be learning education. That's why you have math class, history class, language class, English class, spelling class. And they have the 12 zodiacs based off of the 12 zodiacs of the educational system, but it's a bastard, as in they teach it in the bastardized way.
Version of it.
Yes. Yes.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I know Brother Phil Valentine talked about the subjugated thought.
Okay.
He did a little something on that. So, you know, why they ring the bell, and, you know, I can't remember what it was. All in detail, but certain programming while they ring the bell between each class and have you move to another class because they can't even sit in the same class and listen to even different subjects. You get what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So they have to even change their environment each time you know, the bell rings and all of that stuff. So, yeah, I mean, our thinking is different. Like, if we were in the African village and they were teaching on something, we would know that would be the subject of the day. So if they talking about a palm tree, it would be like you climb the palm tree, you eat the palm tree, you hear the history of the palm tree, you show the clothes that was made out. Everything this goddamn palm tree has done and can do, you would experience it in that time period. You get what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So we had a whole list. So you would know and understand the tree. You know what I mean? So I think when we study this, if we factor that if we're gonna, let's say, study Osiris, you can't throw away Shiva. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's the same shit. You know what I'm saying? There's a book by Alan Dandaloo, The Gods of Ecstasy, where he talks about Shiva and Dionysus.
I just read that joint today, yo.
Wow. Interesting.
Wow.
Interesting. Where he's talking about Shiva and Dionysus. And interesting. Great book, but it's a Greek god and a Hindu god. And he's showing you the correspondence between the two.
Exactly.
See, once we think like that, that's a breakthrough book for them. Because once they think like that, now they cooking with gasoline. You get what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So we'll hear that and go, oh, there's a Greek god. That's their shit. And then tomorrow we're like, they just came out the caves. How did they know that? It's like, well, how could the Greek gods be there? Now, Bobby Hemmings said it, the Greek gods are ours. Greek mythology is ours. Greek philosophy is theirs.
Exactly.
The Greek
like
mythology is ours.
Like the Christmas holiday is celebrating now. Well, they're saying that joy to the world, the Lord has come, that earth receive her King. Well, in a way, they are right, because the son is coming to you know, as the male principal, to say, you know, she's the same her king, you know, and they are right in so many ways that they don't even know or don't have an idea what they're actually saying.
Right. Oh yeah, you know that. Yes, exactly. And even the days are still our days. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That even Flag Day is our day. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
They're just calling this shit Flag Day. Yeah. So all that shit is out. There's nothing that's theirs. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing that's theirs. And you know, it's just like we've been duped into believing they have something versus we have something, and ours is better and theirs is corrupt. Like they haven't even been here long enough to be an adversary. If we really know what's going on, we in our mind have made them an adversary based upon they're the only ones standing over us kicking our ass in this particular time. So if that's all you know and that's all you see and all you made to see, they look like an adversary. But if you put it in the context they just got here, then you realize there's just a poison or just a temporary setback, if you will. You know what I mean? A temporary setback, I guess you could call it, or whatever. But ultimately, if you want to look at anything metaphysical or spiritual, if I was telling the story, I would say they're just a distraction compared to your real work. And your real work is to try to basically, through all of this mind control, through all of this bullshit, through all of this physical ass whipping, can what's in you supersede this bullshit? Can you still look at yourself and see yourself as the power that you claim to be, as the legacy that you've claimed to claim? You get what I'm saying? And so one of the understandings for me was, I get it. I don't even need white people to make my point anymore. You get what I'm saying? What I feel inside of me is I don't need anything I don't need anything in the universe to prove that.
Right.
That's where you get the statements, I am that I am, and all the rest of that shit. You know what I'm saying? And that's where's this confidence coming from? Is this confidence coming from that he lived in a cave? Is this confidence coming from the oldest hoe on the planet named is Lucy? I'm talking about right now. You know what I'm saying? Right now, what I see black people do is fucking amazing. Even in our ignorance, it's fucking amazing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's amazing. The entire planet follows us in our ignorance. Your fucking pants are dripping on the fucking floor, and you got a whole continent of motherfuckers who do that shit.
Exactly.
Eminem, you mad at Eminem for what? Trying to be you? Doing a terrible job of it. You know what I'm saying? But trying to be you, that shows your prowess in your ignorance. You get what I'm saying? So imagine if you had your shit together again. You know what I'm saying? Somebody named Miley Cyrus. Bitch don't even know how to make eggs. You know what I'm saying? Shaking a little flat ass, a little pancake ass. So it's like we don't even recognize our power. You know what I'm saying? Unless it's like for your ego. They trying to do like that. We had hip hop first. No, we have taken over the fucking world. I've seen commercials where white kids are rapping like, yo. Let me tell you, I'm from the era where it was a scandal. Fruity Pebbles did a commercial. And motherfucking Barney was Barney had a Run DMC shirt on. It was a scandal. Now they got little white kids just busting rhymes. Don't be a bully, motherfucker. And all this shit like that. Ridiculous, kid. You know what I'm saying? We stuck. Let me tell you, there's an episode of Sanford and Son on today. Show you how stuck we are. We doing the same shit. Lamont becomes a fucking E5 priest. Changed his name to fucking Kalunda. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yo, this is the same shit niggas is doing right now. You know what I'm saying? Nigga talking Swahili to Fred. I'm sitting there going, yo, he's like, yo, he said the word E5 too. He said, man, that's Nigerian. He said, I'm E5. He said, don't call me out of our slave name no more, Lamont. Call me Kalunda. I said, this nigga tripping. This nigga changed his name to Kalunda. By the end of the episode, he was Lamont again. You know what I'm saying? I said, this shit was in 1975. This is the same shit, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Y'all niggas is Kalunda. Y'all on Facebook changing your name to Kalunda.
You probably don't know what the name means.
Yeah, I don't know what that shit means. Kalunda. Brother Kalunda, I don't like the way you talk to your father, Brother Kalunda. My nigga is Lamont, nigga. Lamont. The word is born. Like we gotta evolve a little bit more quicker. You know what I'm saying? We gotta evolve a little bit more quicker. You know what I'm saying? We doing the Kalunda shit right now. Kalunda. Kalunda. I watched the shit. I said, "Oh my goodness, I got to talk about this shit tonight." Kalunda. This nigga changed his name to Kalunda. Yeah. I guess we go to the next caller. Brother Kalunda's on the line.
Yes. We'll go to the phone line.
Lionel said, classic episode.
All right. Let's go to area code 410. Area code 410, you're on the line.
Hey, how you doing, family? How y'all brothers doing?
Hey, what's up, bro?
This isn't Brother Kalunda, is it?
You said Kalunda? It ain't far from it. It ain't far from it. It's funny you said that. No, it's funny you say that because Noble Drew Ali, he had the little saying, the famous saying, if you do nothing, at least declare your nationality. And you know, of course, that's not exactly saying that I'm Kalunda, but I kind of had some questions about that. And I don't know if this is inauspicious, you know, for this conversation, but Dr. Alim Bey may sound a little bit familiar. About 2 months ago, I called you. You and your wife was on the line, Khadidra. You were on the line talking about the Moorish driver's license type situations, and you know, getting the type of assistance for situations like that. And I was curious, do you have any type of Christmas sales or any type of discounts going on about any type of books I can get for furtherance? You know, the situation I was talking about back then. Jerome Butler.
Right. My wife just finished saying we was going to do a Kwanzaa sale for the, you know, Kwanzaaneers that want to definitely check out the website. So you want to go to www.dralimbay, and we go to the section in which that deals with books, which is the Hall of Knowledge, and there's PDF books there, you know, on every subject you can think of, everything from law to occult, you know, so you can go there and check those out.
Because, brother, you do, I mean, not to elaborate too much now, but the limitations in the environment I'm in right now, but, like, since we was on the topic about groups, you know, joining groups and everything, how valuable do you say it is for one to declare themselves a Moor? You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, you're dealing with Dane, and what the brother is talking about is the spiritual, you know, the hidden, you know, that which is unseen. You know, like he just finished saying, I don't know if you've been listening to the whole show, but he just finished saying that's the difference between Afrocentricity and, you know, metaphysics, is that, yes, it's linked together. However, there comes a point in time where there's a line that has to be drawn in which that you take the mundane to a spiritual level, you know. And so mundanely, yes, nationality can be utilized in your everyday life, which is relative. But spiritually, what is it?
Right. It's just like
now. Remember this. I also said, if you were a brownie and become a Boy Scout, that's a step up. You get what I'm saying? So wherever you're at, it may be a step up for you.
Right.
But there's a certain point where you have to keep evolving. You get what I'm saying?
True.
So again, I'm not saying don't join this or don't do that. Just think your number one goal is evolution. So is it to the next level for you, that's the question you need to ask. So you're not, once again, as I pointed out as well, you're not listening to what I said as me being your boss. You're finding it within yourself to see what it is you need to do based upon the information that I just said to you. So if you listen to everything I said to you, I'm saying it so you'll make a better, more wise choice. So for you, if you're a Christian, getting into some Wiccan shit may be the most next level shit you can do. You get what I'm saying? But if you were born a Wiccan, maybe the next level shit you could do is the Necronomicon. So you get into me being a Wiccan, going to the next Wiccan group to be initiated in is a lateral move. But me being Wiccan going to the Necronomicon group may be moving on up. But eventually I think everyone should outgrow groups. Even if you're still a part of that group, you still have an emotional connection to that group. That's your posse, your gang. That's what led you there. Something in you still needs, that doesn't mean you can't study more on your own. That was one of the things with Alim that I found amazing to me when I first started hearing his work. That he was in the Moorish thing, but knew so much occult shit. You get what I'm saying? He never stopped at just saying, I'm just this or I'm just that. You get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And that to me has always been the key to me. So even if you are, because, you know what I'm saying, I'm from Queensbridge. I'm always going to be from the bridge. Right. But, you know what I'm saying, you know what I mean? You know, I still ain't going to be sitting around trying to make rap songs all the rest of my life. Right. I'm from Queensbridge with MC Shan. You know what I'm saying? Right. So you know, I moved on. And it's interesting, while there's a young kid, I remember this kid was young. Nigga just emailed me, yo, what up, Panic? I'm like, what up? He's like, yo, listen to fucking 8 hours, or you on this or this? I'm like, who the fuck is this? And he told me who it was. It was a little nigga from our hood. I'm like, wow. That to me was big. You get what I'm saying? My man, Sinister. So all that to say, it's your choice, but what you're trying to get away from is being stuck in anything, no matter what it is. That's what I would think.
Right, because I'm introverted as hell, but I never did good with the group theory or the sheep mentality, the herd mentality you heard. So
you got to do what's right for you. But like I said, what I noticed is these lines are crossed everywhere. Like people will come at me one way, and if they get a reaction, they're coming at me the other way, and I'm sitting there going, "You need to pick a lane, boss." You know what I'm saying? You need to pick a pimp. You know you need to pimp a certain kind of way. You either a metaphysician or you either or you're either just an Afrocentric person, let's just say. And I'm sure there's more area in between the two. You know what I'm saying? We're only talking about these two tonight. But you know, and again, I'm not saying one thing is wrong or the other is right or I'm better or this one's better. Just saying there's a line in the sand. So you may be confused sometimes when you get a metaphysical answer. Or I notice people get a metaphysical answer when they don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? It's like, why'd you spend all your money on that? This is an illusion anyway, nigga. Right. Yeah. Same when they don't want some shit to happen. When some shit do happen, you know what I'm saying? You ain't writing exact with the black community. It's like, pick a side, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Right. That's the same Christianity shit. What happened? Well, God is good all the time, and shit goes the wrong way. God works in mysterious ways. You know what I mean? It's like you just. So it's the same kind of thing. It's like it becomes Afrocentric, and she's the queen. If you know what I mean? Why you say that to the queen and all of this kind of shit like that, and then if it's the other way, well, this shit ain't real anyway. It's an illusion anyway. Right. It's the Matrix anyway. It's the Matrix anyway.
Yeah, it goes back to what you were saying. I'm going to get off there in a few minutes. What you were saying earlier about people getting upset. People getting upset when someone calls them a nigger. You know,
right.
well, if you in metaphysical plane, that would
right.
affect
you understand what it means,
you know,
right? You
just like my name is Fahim Richard Ill. That's my name.
Right.
But
right.
The people used to call me Junior. Somebody say, "Hey, Junior," I'm gonna turn around.
Right.
I'm gonna look. You know, or they say, "Oh, I'm sorry, I know your name is Fahim." No. Be cool, but I know what my name is.
Right.
You want to call me Junior? Call me Junior.
Right.
You know, you see what I'm saying?
Right. You ain't tripping over that bullshit. You know what I'm saying?
No. You know,
yeah.
Right.
Like a dude. I told him about a little bit about the nationality thing. You know, I said I wasn't a black person, and he said, "What do you want me to call you?" And, you know, he ain't really mad at me. I said something about Morocco or Mauricio, and he was like, he slipped up and said black again. He was like, "Oh, I'm sorry, Moroccan." You know, I ain't trip over it, but it's I understand.
As long as that nigga ain't call you Cassius Clay. Mama call him Clay, I'ma call him Clay.
Right. One last time, Dr. Alim Bey, could you narrow what particular PDF, you know, as far as the situation as a simply driver's license, you know, the whole
well, we have driver's license fraud written by Taj Tariq Bey. We also have Black's Law Dictionary 1 and 2. We have the Bouvier's Dictionary, Law Dictionary.
Because I wanted to get over with y'all that the plan y'all had, but at the moment, you know, I'm kind of in the manacles right now. So I mean, I'm still interested at the I get more room to walk around, so to speak. But
okay. Well, let me see.
Maybe
let me give you what you can do is call me sometime this week. And do you have the number?
Yeah, I can ask. I can find that again, or even email you, perhaps, because I appreciate what y'all. You know, I appreciate the time you spent.
Right. Email me your address, and I can send you you know, some little booklets or whatever, you know, for you can you know, continue studying.
Yeah, because I've been studying my ass off for the past 2 months. You know, just studying so hard the spleen hurt. I heard overstudy can mess up the spleen sometimes.
Right.
And as far as Brother Panic, this is something I've been teeter-tottering with for like since 2007, 2008ish. You know, it's kind of like a slogan after the Matrix came out, or this quantum physics world. You know, everything. I mean, I know it's one of the Hermetic principles that everything is non-stationary. You know, vibratory, and I could never explain clearly about you know, if you're walking across the street and you get hit with a Mack truck, you know, where's all that? Nothing is physical, you know, nothing is solid. I can never quite explain it when I had to explain it to other people. So you know what I mean? Like when you get hit.
Right, but that's not the. See, when we talk about the illusion, we talking about that it's changeable. Change is the illusion.
Right.
Everything changes, so therefore it's an illusion. Nothing remains the same, so therefore it is an illusion. You're not saying that if you don't step in front of an 18-wheeler, you ain't going to get your ass mowed down. You will lose your physical body, more than likely. 99.99999.
Yeah, your vibration has changed, I would say. Yeah.
So we ain't saying, you know, and in that sense, we saying illusion as in change. And your mind is the magic wand in which that deals with the changeability. Matter of fact, it can actually, you can actually use your mind, which is ethereal energy, astral energy, to tamper with and change destiny if you choose to.
Right.
You know, so that's what we're talking about in that regard. That's the sons of the holographic universe that Michael Talbot is actually is talking about. I suggest that you get that book. The last callers mentioned it, but you definitely need to read that so that there would never be a question in your mind again the way in which that we're talking about as far as this being an illusion.
Right.
I see. Okay.
And knowing that, because Wayne Chandler got hit by a motherfucking SUV and flipped and walked it off. While the truck was total. And this brother Wayne, the story he tells, but he understands the law of illusion and vibration and changing your reality, shifting your reality, and so on and so forth.
Because I mean the type of shit
and
that
understand miracles happen every day too, and that is also a process in which that go undefinable as far as the laws of physics. You know, just like what Brother Panic just said, the shit happens. You know,
right.
People can't survive severe things in which that the normal or average person would just say, "Fuck it, it's over." You know,
right.
I know he jumped out of a plane, his parachute collapsed, and he fell to the ground and still lived.
Right. There was a crackhead back in the days. You know, Queensbridge is 6 stories. There's a crackhead named Moni. You know what I'm saying? And Moni locked herself out of her apartment. So Moni got on the roof and tried to hoist herself down through the window. And half the hood is out there going, "Go Moni, go Moni." And that shit said, and Moni just hit the ground. Boom. Walked it off, son. Just smoking crack all night. You know what I'm saying? Like, Moni, you need to go take your ass down to emergency. I was like, fuck, I'm good, yo. Just my rib hurt. You know what I'm saying? Hey, this is some amazing shit. Just some vibratory shit for your ass.
Yes.
Vibration, also that law of vibration is also talking about frequencies that you can hone in on. Sickness is a frequency. Love is a frequency. Everything has a vibratory frequency. So if you're feeling a certain kind of way because you're vibrating on a certain level as well. You know
right. I'm not feeling his vibe, you know, or I'm not feeling her vibe.
Exactly. You're saying it all the time. Or you feel cold, like fear vibrates, I can't remember the numbers, love at 500, such and such megahertz and this and that. And the amygdala glands and kidney glands get into it when fear is involved and send off elixirs based upon the vibration. And your thought creates a vibration. If you're sitting around saying, "No, I'm depressed, I'm depressed, I'm depressed," you're depressed now. Or I'm clumsy. You know what I'm saying? If you co-sign with the fact that you're a clumsy person, you're the one busting your ass. Or I always have good luck. I never get the girl. All that shit we say to ourselves is what Alim was talking about when he said you use your mind as the wand. You know what I'm saying? I never get the girl. I always get the girl. Bitch is going to hate me. I never win. I always win. All of that changes your vibration and how you win or how you lose. I mean, it's multi-layered, this principle of vibration thing. Nothing rests. Everything moves. You get what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
So, I mean, that's all, what that's trying to tell you is there's no such thing as death.
Right.
So you getting hit by a car, you're changing your vibration out the physical into the non-physical. There's many ways to look at it. These things didn't just mean one thing. They were principles. And when you're dealing with principles, they're trying to tell you in whatever area you're thinking that this thing holds true. So they'll say it's the principle of vibration, the principle of cause and effect, the principle of this, the principle of that. Because they're trying to say no matter what you're thinking about, or as soon as you apply vibration to it, it's going to have the same. It's going to hold true throughout, just in a different context.
I understand. The principle of gender and principle
right.
of correspondence.
Right. It's not just about pussy and dick. It's about the feminine and masculine in every single thing. You get what I'm saying? In every single thing you could touch. The feminine and masculine in a cup, in a pen.
Right.
Or whatever. You know what I mean? So just trying to say, whatever subject you're dealing with, can you apply how do you apply these principles to it? Not can you. How do you apply them to it? So it's more than just one meaning. It just depends on what you're really trying to get at. So you don't want to start. Remember, we talked about correspondence earlier. You don't want to start streamlining these things into one absolute. You get what I'm saying? You want to be able to. Now, here's another important thing that what I started to find out, because it used to kill me in the beginning in my study, is that this shit contradicts a lot. So I was trying to figure out all these contradictions, and I said, no, I get it. It's supposed to contradict. That's the science, because there are many ways to get to that. Right, there's many ways to get to that light. It's not just one way to get to the light. That's why all of that debating and all of that arguing and all of that, but my way is right and that's why you never hear me talk about don't do that, do that. You never hear me say that, because there's so many different ways that a man can or a woman can find light. You know what I'm saying? Some can find light through abstinence. Some can find light through fucking all day. Don't matter. You get what I'm saying? So it's up to you as long as you're evolving. That's my overall message, as long as you're evolving. So that's a big deal. You want to be able to stay open-minded when you get this stuff, because you're going to find something that contradicts it. You get what I'm saying? So
yes, sir. Yeah, I was looking at the studying the yin yang for past month and a half. I mean, it's not really new to me, but like in order to straighten, one must bend. In order for something to be dry, it has to be wet. At some point.
That's polarity. So and see, they'll tell you. You find that in Gnosticism, before they call it yin yang or polarity, is that one of the stories is that your soul has been cracked in half, and everything you're trying to do is find the other half of your soul through the feminine, if you're a man, through the masculine feminine principle, if you're female, through the masculine principle for your holistic self. So, and to understand polarity, it has to be opposite. There has to be opposite. Right? So there's no up without down. There can be no down without up. There can be no good without evil. But the science is, in the law of polarity, that it's actually the same thing. That's where the genius comes in. That's where the holistic thought comes in, because instead of saying, is it hot, is it cold, it's all temperature. So
right, and just like
where does hot start for you and cold begin? Where does cold and hot start? For me and you, it's two different things.
Just like you were talking about with brother Dr. Phil, the European fractionation. If I remember. If I remember correctly, how they refractionate the classrooms is a schizophrenic mind frame. It's like they got to splinter the mind all the time.
Right. Exactly.
Compartmentalization. But I know.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Go ahead, brother.
Right, and I just wanted to. I know this isn't on the topic, but I had it on my chest for a while. I was wondering about the. I've been off Illuminati a long time ago. I've been over that, but as far as realities and say, what's her face? Abraham Hicks. And sometimes that bald-headed dude, Basha, they talk about the different realities. Well, a lot of people talk about different realities, but how one person could be living in the Bob Marley sunshine, Jamaica Beach, life is a peach, and another person could be living in the FEMA camp. And I'm wondering, like, could these two persons or individuals could they pass even though they got two totally different mindsets, and like even if one would explain the other's situation, could they at least perceive it even though they're not on that vibration? You know what I mean?
Well, I'm sure they could, because the same way you could perceive someone in a FEMA camp even though you don't live there, or the same way you can perceive somebody just by you classifying it as someone living in Bob Marley's world and you perhaps don't live there. You can perceive it, but can you achieve it? Let's just do the Jesse Jackson for a second. and to achieve it, you have to be able to see it yourself, not see it from the perspective of someone else who say they live in it or whatever. So that's what we talked about in the first week, about you convincing yourself by any means necessary. Because you ever watch some of these reality shows and the ignorant chick will talk, or what you perceive to be ignorant will talk, but they believe that bullshit? It's like, or this any motherfucker, when they talking some more weird shit and they truly believe this shit. It's like it has nothing to do with reality is what you call it. So there's no reality. And that's what all of these gurus are talking about with the law of attraction and cause and effect and as a man thinketh. So, I mean, that's all that is. You know what I'm saying? You could choose whatever thing you want. Now, most black people will look at it as we think planetarily. So if I figured out how to make it and I'm good and my life is good, most black people with a conscience still see their brothers suffering based upon ignorance, based upon the illusion, based upon whatever you want to call it, Christianity, police, or whatever reality they choose to say is the reason, and they feel they need to do something about it. That's in fact where a lot of the Afrocentric and the black struggle mentality comes from. Because this planet is so out of balance, so even if a few blacks score, most blacks still want to help other black folks. You get what I'm saying? So we're the type that if the planet is hurting, we're going to do some. White folks, on the other hand, you know what I'm saying, survival of the fittest on this motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yep.
Tis what it is.
All right, appreciate it, brothers. Appreciate the.
Yes, sir.
And Dr. Alim Bey, I get up with you with the phone number or email, and the exchange.
Yep. See where Alim's at. You there, Alim?
Yep, area code 682
right.
is on the line. Go on and get
what's
your question
good,
in.
dog? God damn, nigga, I've been waiting a long motherfucking time. These niggas over here tripping and shit. What y'all got up, though, shit?
All right.
Yeah, I'm shout out to both of y'all niggas, man. Y'all niggas taught a nigga a lot over the years, man. I'm only 26. Shit. I feel like a motherfucker got so many questions, shit. The answer is in the question, but I ain't finna, take up too much time. I ain't finna tell my life story and all this shit. I'm trying to get straight to the point. But yeah, I salute both of y'all, goddamn me, holding up the legacy and shit on the knowledge and shit. So.
Yes, sir.
But yeah, I was gonna say, to panic, what vitamins and stuff you think I could get at the store while I'm waiting on my panic pack?
Oh, that enhance the panic pack or just vitamins, period?
Either or. It don't even matter. I need to turn up.
For what? For meditation or for what?
I'm trying to activate whatever. I don't give a damn what it is.
Okay, then anything black currant, any of those purple pills, those black currant pills, those are good for the pineal. Cayenne pepper, more cayenne pepper. In fact, if you could just get cayenne pepper and stomach a spoonful in some water, real Kundalini shit. From Jerry Miller, the dude who sells the Oregon, he sells oregano, and it ain't just that shit that you put on your pizza. It's some shit I can't even fuck with. That is probably some of the most healthiest oregano. It's this concentrate. This shit is fucking fire. So you might want to see him for that oregano too. You might want to see him for that oregano. Like I said, it depends on what you're doing. Depends on what you're doing. But
I just wanna, you know, I'm into pretty much everything. Selenium. Ooh, yeah.
It's pretty good. What's the one for the selenium? Not what's the one that I was telling you about for the pineal?
Was the L-lysine or some shit?
Tryptophan. It's a protein. It's usually found in turkey, but you can get it. You can get the supplement tryptophan, which starts the process of serotonin to melatonin, something like that. Whichever it was I broke down. But tryptophan is the melanin thing. Do not get melatonin. Melatonin fucks up your dreams. And, Bobby Hemmett says that it was, they're using human melanin, so you'll get other motherfuckers' dreams.
Taking pineal glands and shit from motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's sick ass.
But believe it or not, every once in a while, hit a fucking NyQuil. This shit was like heroin, man. I took this shit the other week, during Thanksgiving. Shit, I was sitting on the couch dribbling on myself. I'm saying this shit was the bomb, son. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I was like, this fucking NyQuil shit right here, boy.
Niggas don't down here in Texas anyway. Nigga get some syrup, all type of shit.
Yeah, get a NyQuil, kid, and it'll make the dreams deeper. There's something called Calm. It's magnesium, basically, in a powder form. It bubbles up like Alka-Seltzer, so you just put it in hot water. Calm, C-A-L-M.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, it's the word Calm. It's in the powder form, but it's basically magnesium. If you can't get Calm, just get magnesium. That'll calm the system down. Like all deeper sleep, valerian root, deeper sleep. You know what I'm saying? What else? Ginger is pretty good. I'll take some powdered ginger. Lavender is also good. Ginger pills pretty good. Yeah, if any of this stuff you can get and put it in a juice or raw, is better. Lavender. If you take lavender, the little purple lavender, and crush it in water and drink that all day, that'll calm you, help with the meditations. When you get the herb pack, get some Tiger Balm. It's like Bengay, but it's Tiger Balm. It has real menthol in it. Bengay just burns the skin.
With that tiger on the pack and shit, it's like red and gold
yes,
and shit.
Yes, exactly.
I know exactly.
That actually penetrates. Put that on the pineal gland. That will open up the pineal gland. Chakra stones from Alim, you can get those. That's always the key. You take those 7 chakra stones, put them in a gallon of water.
Yeah.
Let them sit overnight, and then the water becomes empowered, gets the frequency of the stones, and basically you can balance out your chakras just by drinking the water, or take them in the tub. You can get those from Alim. Like I said, anything else depends on what you want to do.
I was gonna say about that penny pack. I'm just making sure I ain't fucking my address on that motherfucker. Well, I just hit you up on a Gmail and shit on the Big Brandon 2K2.
Okay.
So,
just hit me again. Let me know. Make sure we'll confirm your address and all that stuff. So just hit me again.
It's been fucked up weather down here and shit. And shit got fucked all up. I tried to order some hell banknotes. The motherfuckers sent back and shit.
Oh, okay. Yeah, just let me know what's going on. Yeah, just give me an update. What's going on? I just sent out like 40 packages, so a lot of people who was waiting on to get theirs. There's still like a few more to go. So I actually got to pack some up this week and early next week send them out. So anybody who's waiting, it's coming. Anybody who's waiting is coming. Don't think I ain't forgot about nobody. Stop saying, did you forget about me? No, motherfucker. I've been doing it for 5 years. Ain't nobody forget about nobody.
I already know. I just making sure.
Yeah,
I got address discrepancies on my end and shit.
Yeah, I seen somebody wrote me an address update. So maybe that was you if you did it.
Yeah, that was probably me.
Okay, yeah, I looked at it. I didn't look at the address yet, but I'll look at I seen it in my inbox.
Oh, yeah, you know any Apollo deities I could call up on for us like the, throw some shit in?
Well, be more specific.
Like, I'm gonna say, like, because I was reading this Yoruba religious concepts that these are 7 orishas could be your aspects of your 7 chakras. And I was seeing the familiarities between Ogun and Zarabanda. I'm a Leo, so that's the heart chakra, and I've been trying to get.
Yeah, well now understand this. There's 4 different kinds of Apollo. One is Masonic, one is Christian, and the 2 that you probably hear about the most is Palo Monte and Palo Mayombe.
Yeah.
Now Palo Monte.
I didn't even know Masons was fucking with that shit. I know they was fucking around.
Yeah, it's like Palo Kasimba or whatever. So it's more technical. And now the Palo Monte does a lot of correspondence with the Orishas. Now, prior to Baba Raoul Carnazeri's book, nobody was fucking with no Palo. It was some spooky, crazy shit that nobody was fucking with.
Motherfuckers scared of that shit.
Now, they were scared of it. Then once he corresponded it with the Orishas, everybody's a fucking Polero. Now, Palo Mayombe, which is the darkest one, you could only find books in Spanish on those.
Yeah, and them motherfuckers be taxing a motherfucker for the shit and be acting all funny and shit.
The one book that was written in English and this nigga got ostracized was Carlos Montenegro. Carlos Montenegro.
That's that motherfucker.
He's
a bad motherfucker.
Yeah, I mean, I can get you. Got to email me. I'll get you a copy of it.
Yeah, my partner got the Orishas, the Jantas of the Orishas book with the rooster on the front of that bitch.
Okay, I know what you're talking about.
Now, I need that motherfucker on you. You said who?
In the Palo Mayombe book, what it was the Carlos Montenegro family made sacred 11 deities with a lot but basically these deities from the Congo they moved through Brazil and through through that side through more the east, while there's some Palos that moved towards Cuba towards the west, and Santa Rita got big. Now when he re-released his book with his family, everybody shit on it because it wasn't classic. It didn't have the cutting ceremonies like the Palo, but it had the 11 deities. These particular 11 deities in their veves. Now he's since put out books that's a little bit more traditional. I have the original book with these 11 deities. Zaraband is in it. This shit is the shit that works. And the fuck's
is that the one on your price list?
Yes.
I need that.
That's the one.
That's bad.
That's the motherfucking one. On it, it has a bunch of ritual and all of that bullshit.
Yeah.
But if you did that shit, half the rituals to make that pot, you wouldn't get any juice out of that. That's for like the followers. There's plenty of They break down all the palo sticks, because that's what palo means, sticks, and the combinations of sticks that you could use for a lot of rituals, including killing motherfuckers in there. And then the 11 deities. The 11 deities corresponds with the 11 Kalipov, the dark side of the tree.
Yeah.
Off the hook, man. Off the hook. And you sound like you're ready for it. It don't, but that's where you want to go. So
I've been fucking with you
Zarabanda. Zarabanda is a mixture of Ogun and Alegba.
Oh yeah.
Real powerful opening.
And that's what's fucked up. My favorite colors is green, black, and red. And my favorite number is 3.
That's that nigga. You know what I'm saying?
So I guess I was destined to fuck with this shit.
There's a Madre de Luna, Madre de Agua. There's a lot of motherfuckers.
That's Yemi, y'all. Mama Shola.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like I was destined to fuck with these certain deities because I tend to have too much of a big heart sometimes. And, Ogun, they say Ogun over the heart chakra. Ogun nice until you fuck with them. And, like, I got similarities with Legba because growing up, I used to hot side and shit, play the dozens and play motherfuckers a lot and shit. But I also got connections with people. Like, I could put motherfuckers in the door with the right people, but, you know what I'm saying? I don't fuck around. So with certain shit, I could put you to the right nigga, though, as long as you come correct. But yeah, I was just,
you need to fuck with it.
Yeah, I fuck with all the Orishas, but them like far as the fucking main three is fucking Siete Reyes, that's Shango, Legba and Ogun. Them more, because I be telling my partners and shit, if you fucking with this shit, fuck with motherfuckers like your personality first, because you say you correspond, just come first. Cause how the fuck is you looking up something and you don't know what the fuck you correspond with? This shit stupid as fuck. Niggas on there telling life stories and shit. Fuck that. It's time out for that shit. Niggas need to put their fucking foot down and start studying. If I'm 26 and I can do all this shit, the next nigga can too. I ain't trying to judge nobody, but at the same time, if my young ass can do this shit, motherfucker can too. This shit ain't shit. Shit easy as fuck.
You gotta remember this, certain motherfuckers they're not as old as you, not physically, but you may have been through this shit before. That's why certain shit comes easier and certain shit for people is hard. So metaphysically, it's looked at as the person is young based upon their lack of, I don't want to say energy or that fear they have, right? That fear more. You know what I'm saying? If they fear. Most Christians fear stepping outside of it. So that's because they're young. You get what I'm saying? In terms of life. When you're talking to an ancient one, usually when you're talking to a conscious person, you're talking to a real ancient person. You get what I'm saying?
I'm only 5'4", so shit. Motherfucker fucking best probably got some similarities with best because short than a motherfucker, but nigga got the shit most. But shit, I'm down here with Texas. These motherfuckers sleep any goddamn way. I ain't judging them. Ain't nothing wrong with it because it's power and ignorance too. Like Rob say, look at me, I'm pure nigga in this bitch. So I give down, you know what I'm saying? Shit, it is what it is. That's why I fuck with you, Panic, and Alim Bay, I fuck with you. And goddamn it, it's just a whole bunch of shit. I'm trying to get in tune with. I'm trying to get my shit lined up. As soon as my money get right. I could fuck around and shit. Are y'all familiar with Christos Keone?
Nah. It don't sound familiar.
Dude out of Florida. Dude be doing free readings and shit. He fuck with the Apollo and just a little name I'm throwing out there and shit. Cause shit, it's motherfuckers fucking around and shit. I feel like shit. I'm put y'all Christos Keone, that motherfucker. He doing goddamn Ustreams and shit, so I thought y'all would be familiar with him, because that motherfucker, nigga be pulling in some shit. I just found out one of my family members trying to work some shit on me. Trying to put some blockages and shit on me. Nigga gave me a badass motherfucker. I ain't got the fucking, I'm still gathering all the ingredients to get this shit together. Nigga got red bananas and all this shit. I was like, shit, this shit, that's how I know motherfucker know that shit. The extensive detailed shit, that's the powerful shit. I got a couple of Hemet tapes. I mean, I've been fucking with Hemet. The first fucking shit I did was What If God Was the Devil. That was a bad motherfucker.
Oh yeah.
And shit. Hey yo, I guess that's goddamn y'all. I got to goddamn me say shit. Shout out, peace to the guys and shit.
All right, man.
I don't want to get on here and get the blabbering and shit, but yeah, I'll catch y'all next time and shit.
All right, bro. We'll talk. Appreciate
right.
the call.
All right. Oh yeah, Alim, I can get your number off your site, right?
Yep.
All right, man. All right, peace out. Man, fuck peace. Right. Shit, fuck this shit. What's good, my nigga? This shit, fuck all this pieces and hotep, and this shit gay. I don't like that shit. Just keep it real, shit.
Chaos, my nigga. Vainglory.
Yeah, chaos. Yeah, fuck peace, chaos. All out chaos. Man. Fuck the dumb shit, nigga. Niggas need to quit.
We got area code 484, yo.
That nigga sound just like Rudra. That nigga sound just like Rudra, kid.
Sound just like Rudra?
Yeah, I thought that was Rudra.
484. Area code 484, you on the line.
Yes, can y'all hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yeah.
Hello?
Yes.
Oh,
hello?
please.
How you doing? Vainglorious.
Oh, I'm good. This is Zach here. Can y'all hear me?
Yes,
ma'am. Yes, we can.
Oh, okay. Peace to y'all. First, I just want to say thank y'all. Thank y'all for keeping it real. Okay, the reason why I called is because, I'm so nervous. Okay. All right. Every since, I could remember, I've been having spiritual experiences, From the time I was like 5, I remember, it was like beings was talking to me, was telling me to say that I am me and you are you. It was like a disconnect for me. So, most of my younger life I always felt like, I didn't want to be here. I just now, like, in my older age, start really accepting the fact that I'm here. I just now starting to, get in touch with more so people that, like have similar experiences and that type of thing, which has been, slightly a comfort for me. But I've dealt with like a lot of different spiritual beings, and it seems like from all different types of, I would say backgrounds, but I'm trying to get to the point where I can merge everything together as opposed to separating everything, because I've had ancestors or entities like from the indigenous American, like, coming to my dreams and giving me elixirs. I've had, Zoroaster, I've had Sabbath, Ishtar, like I've had all of these like different beings, and it, for a while was confusing me because I felt like, am I supposed to choose, what I'm saying, like one tradition or one, being over another. So I just pretty much kind of stayed, neutral with everything. But I mean, I have journals just full of different entities that have come to me, like in different ways. Sometimes I see, like sometimes I see a lot of like, I can see like dead people and stuff like that. Like they, what I'm saying, like they all come to me. When sometimes, I could be talking to a person or something like that, and then it's like something that they, like I could, I can feel their energy, and like a herb will come to me, and I say, well, you need to take this. Like, and then like the latest thing that happened was at my house here. I know there's a lot of spirits that's always around me, but I was telling my aunt, I said, there's a man in here. And he was hanging around for maybe, like a couple of days. And the next day, my youngest daughter came to me and said, Mom, when I was going to the bathroom, I seen a man with a black hat and a black suit. And I showed her the picture of Baran Samdi, and she was like, yeah, that's him. So now my thing is, I'm trying to more so get into this as maybe like a career or something that I'm doing, but every time I try to maybe focus on bringing it on, like sometimes I'm psychic, I can pick up the energy, but if I purposely try to do it, it doesn't come. Sometimes I've gone through rituals, setting up altars and that type of thing, and I've had some correspondence, but it seems like it happens more so spontaneously when I'm not really paying attention to it. Mm-hmm. And I was going through a period like, okay, I need a teacher, I need a guide, and last year I had, come into some people that was dealing with Santeria, and it was just crazy because it just had got me to the point where I had this dream where it was crazy because my daughter is staying with her aunt and her godmother in Virginia, and she was calling, and I had the cell phone in my room.
What's the question?
And the question is, how do I it's so much, it's like overwhelming for me with the different entities and the different beings, and I want to be able to sort of hone in on one, on one talent, or you know what I'm saying? Like, how do I?
What's one talent?
I don't know. That's what I'm confused about, because I feel like I'm the one that's doing the separation, with all of these different beings that's coming from like different traditions and that type of thing. But I want to,
What's your ultimate goal?
I feel like I'm on more sort of like a healing path. However, like I said, it just comes, it happens spontaneously.
I don't know where you're trying to go, but from what I gather from what you're saying is, what you need to do is figure out some sort of meditation program and some sort of methodology for contacting spirits. So really the only thing I know, you need to figure out some sort of meditation or method of your own to calm your mind and get into communication. But I can tell you this, it's not going to work because what I did hear you say was you're trying to do it for a job or do it for a living.
Well, I mean, okay, yeah, somewhat. I would like to make this.
You need to get that off. You need to get that off your mind. Mm-hmm. What you need to do is do it because you seek to have a higher communication. If a living comes out of it, then that means you're supposed to be doing it. If you're trying to push for a living, you push it for an agenda. And what I've taught for quite a long time, if you have an agenda, that's why it doesn't work. Okay. The spirits are not here. The energy that you're dealing with is not here for you to market. Okay. If you are true to the game, it then becomes marketable. I will tell you that. Right. But it's only marketable, or you're able to make a living off of it, when you are sincere with why you want to communicate. What you're saying to me, or it sounds like you're saying to me, you want to streamline to one deity to tell you everything you need to know to get a check.
No, not so much. Not so much, because everything that I have done, in helping people, I haven't charged them or anything like that.
Then what's the problem?
I feel like I need to, I don't know, maybe I should be.
You feel like you need to charge them. You feel like you need to get some money out of it.
Yeah, sort of. In a way I do. But everything that I have done.
That's what we're talking about, having an agenda. Like I said, if you were meant to get money out of it, you will be. For instance, it took me, I was already speaking for a year before the spirits came and said, now you can sell herb packs. Wow. I didn't say, I'm going to sell, let me speak about this, I could sell herb packs. It never would have worked. So being sincere to my spiritual path, then the spirit has taken care of me. You understand what I'm saying? So basically what I hear from you is backwards. You're not, it doesn't sound like you're interested in first a spiritual path, and then the finances will follow you. And they'll tell you that in any class. You want money to follow you. And money follows you based upon you being a master craftsman or craftswoman at what you do. So everything you said so far is subtly you're waiting for it to pay off.
Right.
You're looking for
I feel like I've always been on a spiritual path. However, now I feel like
everyone
maybe,
has.
Everyone
has. It's just
right.
If you have pineal gland, if you have kundalini, and you have melanin, you have. It's how aware of it you are that matters, and what you do to enhance that. Spiritual awareness is your natural gift, your birthright. Is just been suppressed based upon it being atrophied. In other words, you don't use it, you lose it. And most of us have not been using it. So since you cannot totally suppress it, you have random people all around the world saying, this happened to me when I was 3, this happened to me when I was 13, this happened to me since I was 5, this happened to me since I was 6. And then either they wanted to go away or they want to get a check, or some people take that, because I could tell you a bunch of shit that happened to me when I was little. But what I did was take that shit and try to enhance it based upon the sake of enhancing it and nothing else. And then everything else seemed to have followed. So you've heard me say plenty of times before, and I'll say it again. When you study spirituality, you cannot have an agenda. You have an agenda, it will not work. The only agenda you should have is to be able to receive more, be in a position to receive more. You want to know just because you want to know. So I don't see anybody in the goddamn planet saying, I just want one spirit to talk to me when many are. Shit, let's get it on. Everything that will come should come.
I just don't sometimes know how to make.
That's the real issue. See, that's
I
the
don't
real
know how to
issue.
make sense of it.
That's
sometimes.
The real issue. See, don't confuse the issue of I don't know how to deal with it with how do I get some money out of it. You get what I'm saying? Those are two different things. So as I started to say is what you need to do is figure out a meditation program, a methodology for funneling spiritual information in a way that's usable for you. That should be your ultimate goal. That should be everything you're working on. That should have been the question, how do I make this shit understandable for me? How do I use this and be able to control this? Those are the questions you ask. You get what I'm saying? If you saying, how do I make $1 out of it, then I can't, you know what I mean? You just, it ain't going to work because remember, these spiritual things that come to you, there's something in you that is valuable enough for anything spiritual to even see you. First and foremost, what do spirits see? Spirits can only see light. They don't give a fuck about your black plight, all that Afrocentric shit we talked about. There's nothing that Baron Samedi gives a fuck about as a thought form. So you sitting around going, oh, look at that black girl. I love her. Let me speak to her. Let me help her. Let me help her with her job and her slavery and her kids and her Down syndrome. I don't give a fuck about that. Or they don't even know you exist unless you have light. That's why most black people walk around in the state that they do, because they don't have any light. So it's not like the spirits don't want to help them, or you have to give them 1,000 cups of water to help them. They don't even see these motherfuckers to help them, because these niggas ain't generating no light. You generate light through knowledge, through being pure of heart, through approaching this shit with pure heart. that's when your light comes on, and therefore you're in communication with spirits based upon your light. So if you're having more communication than, let's say, the next person, that means you have a little bit more natural light with you. It's up to you to enhance and make that light shine to where it's full-blown bright, where you're having the communication you want, the information you want, and you're dealing with so much light, everything on the earthly realm or the earthly matrix will follow your ass, meaning money, meaning health, meaning wealth, meaning love, meaning comfort, and all the rest of that shit. All of that shit follows me, because I'm not trying to chase it with some goddamn pimp trick. You get what I'm saying? You can hang it up, because that all that dulls your light. Because humanity is not light. Spirituality is light. So the more you think like a human, the more you dim your light. So the more you think about how to make $1 out of 15 cents, the more your light is dimmed.
Okay. Because I was thinking on the lines like, okay, should I leave my job and more so focus on this and then just have this help me to make a living? But, you know, on the flip side of that, I've seen, though, even on my job, like when I'm focused on that spirituality comes through. You know what I'm saying? Even on my job, like no matter where I am.
Well, I mean, spirits don't have a goddamn work schedule. It'll come through when you have enough light to bring it through, or when you're dealing with enough light to bring it through. So you need to figure out what you were doing when they do come through and enhance that. You get what I'm saying? There's plenty of things you need to do and can do to enhance what it is you're doing. I'm sure you can find books on everything. You wouldn't be the first person. I'm sure you can go to Amazon and just throw a rock and find the books that you need, find the information that you need. Okay. I said, but you need to be you have to be in it for the sake of transformation, and all that other earthly shit comes down the pipe. This plane is a bitch to spirituality. Mm-hmm. So you're making your spirituality a bitch to Earth? Doesn't make no sense. You know what I'm saying? When the Earth is a byproduct of a spiritual force first. It happens in the astral or the spirit world first, and then it trickles down to the physical plane. So you're not gonna change shit spiritually by starting physically. You change shit physically by starting spiritually.
So just stay in those processes as opposed to looking for something.
See what you may figure out this. You may stumble upon each time you wash your ass with a shower curtain, Baron Samedi comes through. Then you make it your business to wash your ass with a shower curtain.
Okay. You
may wipe your ass with a paper towel and Bridget comes through. Then you make it your business to wipe your ass with a paper towel. What you need to do is called know thyself. So you need to know what triggers these episodes. You need to know how to put yourself in a position for spirituality.
Right.
You're restraining yourself with your own thoughts. That's why it's not happening when you need it to happen. You're restraining
it's like an after effect. It's like I said, because it's like after the fact. Like, okay, and now I'm thinking, you're overthinking. What was I doing? What was I, you know what I'm saying?
Right. There you go. How was I thinking? What was I thinking? What put me in that mood? Again, I said it last week. I said there was a certain mood every time I got on the train at a certain stop, the way the sun would hit, and it would make me feel a certain way. I put that in my Rolodex. So to feel that way, all I think is about is that situation, and I'm there. Mm. You actually shift your energy with your thoughts. That's what Alim talked about tonight, your thoughts being a magic wand. So your thoughts are what generate spiritual communication. And basically you told me thoughts that are contrary to what spirits even deal with. Spirits are not earthly, and they don't give a fuck about your earthly plight, contrary to to popular belief. And Oshun gives a flying fuck about you and your love life. I don't know how people got to believe that shit. You know what I'm saying? She's a goddess of love and represents the energy. And by you working with her, you can use the energy for yourself. But her as a personality that wants to see you engaged to somebody is fucking a human thought or a human understanding of it. So you need to know, first and foremost, that these deities represent energies, invisible until their name is called, until their personality is understood. The energy is perceived to be untangible or non-tangible to man until you give it a character, a consort, a day, in a look, a food, a number, a time, and all the rest of that stuff that you attributed to a deity. Until you give it that, then the energy is now able to be controlled. But when this energy emerges, and then you talk about how to humanize it, you just took something. You just put your toaster in the bathtub. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You did something different than what it is you're conjuring up. So it's very key that when people talk about you know what you're doing, that's what you need to know. Why are you doing this? First you need to question yourself, why are you doing this? And basically when I ask you why and what's the question, it's like, well, I just figured I could get some money out of it.
No, this right here is just like a natural, inherent part of me. Yeah, I don't, it's just been like a natural part of me.
If it was a natural part of you, you could, like I said, there's two ways to look at it. It's a natural part of everyone.
Right.
But if it's something that was natural in the context you're talking about, we wouldn't be having this conversation right now.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying? You've been telling me about your successful spiritual plight. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
So that's the natural that you're talking about. The natural that I'm talking about is natural to everybody as long as you got a pineal gland.
Right. No.
But we're in a place where we have to rebuild this type of thinking, this conversation. You know what I mean? For true spiritual guidance. You know what I mean? There was a time where we used these energies to guide us, and it showed us how to live on the planet. Now we're living on the planet according to these energies, which is like basically religion. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Right.
That'll be mad. He'll get mad. Give him the water. One of the other things you brought up that I think you need to really consider, too, is you're looking for a tradition. That shit is played the fuck out. That's played out like fucking Run DMC rope chains and shit. It's over. We in a place where see first and foremost, understand tradition is based upon culture.
Right.
So you cannot find a traditional African religious system that's going to work for you, and you a goddamn African American or whatever.
Right. No, I mean I feel that because it's like bits and pieces. It don't fit the whole picture for me.
Not even bits. Even if you got the whole goddamn thing, it don't matter. That's not where you're from. See now, remember most of these systems. Let's say you take Congo for example. The people of the Congo or the Dogon people, whoever, they were raised a certain way, they eat a certain way, they drink a certain way, they marry a certain way, they fuck a certain way, they have kids a certain way, they take care of their old people a certain way, take care of their young people a certain way, they dance a certain way, they work a certain way. Everything is specific. That's what makes them the Dogon. That's what makes them the Congo. So when they have a magical system, that system was built for those people.
Right.
Now, most of the magical systems was based upon initiation and ritual. Most of these rituals were done based upon the culture. So, for instance, there were certain things that may be shocking to you that may not be shocking to the next person. So if Theo Huxtable went somewhere and somebody put a gun out on Theo, this would change his life. But if you was Tookie Williams' son, the gangster, and somebody pull a gun, he may not even notice it. He may not even notice it.
Right.
That's because he's used to that lifestyle. So therefore, if the initiation is pulling out a gun, Theo has been thoroughly initiated.
Okay.
But Tookie Williams' son, it didn't mean nothing. Nothing has impacted him based upon his culture. You get what I'm saying? So if you're following the African system and you are trying to do initiations that's supposed to impact your psyche, if you don't have the same psychological profile as the Dogon, how can you be initiated doing something that the Dogon did when you fucking from America?
Right.
The best chance you got is a new initiation in America, but is it necessary? Because the initiation only really comes down to ceremony. And just really having an understanding of something is a new initiation. You get what I'm saying? But even before you get there, let's even pretend initiation is everything somebody is selling it up to be. You cannot initiate me into voodoo during a Haitian ceremony, and I know nothing about the people of Haiti.
Okay.
It does not impact my psyche. So if you're looking for a system to get in, you're just looking for you're looking for a club. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
When as scientists, because everybody's all Egyptian, the Egyptians were scientists and dealing with priesthood. And in the priesthood, you wasn't following no shit. You was dealing with it on a scientific level. That's what I'm pro. I'm pro-science, which means you need to experiment on your own. You get what I'm saying? You need to do whatever. What is magic? How does magic work? It works. You judge magic by the results. So whatever the fuck is going to bring you results is what matters. The end. We got to get past good and evil, because that's all you're really saying. Well, am I doing good or evil in my magic? Because really that's the only thing someone could argue if you don't get initiated, that you're doing it wrong. Now I need to ask, explain what doing magic wrong means.
Right.
You know what I mean? Explain what doing magic wrong means. There's no such fucking thing.
So that's basically like having a book of shadows. What works for you?
Oh, that's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is. Wow. See, what we got duped. See, you got to remember, there was a time, it wasn't just all of a sudden we were Christians and fucked up. And it took a long walk down before we got to this position. So if we're in America slapping a banjo in church talking about Jesus is good, if you could get past that, the first step past that is African or Afrocentric. So we accept that as divine without saying, well, was there something greater than that? But if you look a little bit deeper, even all of that culture and all of that shit that we see in this jumping around and dancing is still later day Africans. It's Africans that were just before religion was dealing with superstition, which gave birth to religion. And that superstition became don't do that or Ogun to get mad. Don't do this or Oshun to get mad. You can't do this and you can't do that. This was a part of keeping people in check in a culture. So keeping people, and even before that, karma. When they started, karma just meant cause and effect. It had nothing to do with bad or good, but when there was no religious institutions around, they just told you, well, if you do something bad, you're going to have to do some lifetimes as a slug. You do something good, you don't have to come back again. So it became the first whisperings of heaven and hell, punishment for good and evil. You get what I'm saying? Control. And then superstitions, we don't get no fish because we didn't do that. We don't get no crops because we didn't do that. Oshun must be mad at us. That's why we didn't get any fucking honeybees coming this year. And then that just prepped us for the religious onslaught that we have today. Jesus and Jesus Christ and good and bad, hell and earth and all the rest of that shit. So we got to keep going back further when these magical systems were more than superstition, where they were straight systems of power. That's what I'm for. To take it back a little bit further step before it was just Afrocentric, and when it was when the entire planet dealt with this kind of shit. You know what I'm saying? This entire planet is ours. You get what I'm saying? Everything in it is ours. Everything on it or around it is ours. We own this money.
That's where I'm trying to get to, because I've realized a lot of times that it's like, these are your own obstacles. You know what I mean? Like I know intellectually, okay.
Our biggest obstacle is human thought. That's your biggest obstacle. And that's known, not just you, period, but that's a metaphysical truth. Human thought is the true evil. And you'll find that in the Gnostic teachings, that your own brain. In fact, in that movie, they told you your biggest enemy in that movie, Revolver. A must-see. A movie called Revolver has Andre Benjamin, that Andre 2000 guy in it, and that dude played Crank. It's a real popular movie. Must watch. It's a movie about the ego. And at the end it has Deepak Chopra and all the rest of them clowns speaking on it, because they let you know clearly there's a metaphysical movie about the ego. It's one of the movies they weren't hiding. They tell you your greatest enemy is the closer than you think. They tell you it's your own fucking mind.
Wow.
A must-watch movie. So your enemy is your greatest enemy is your own fucking mind or your ego. So it's not like you're trying to get anywhere. What you need to do is you're only trying to realize where it is you're already at.
Wow.
And that's what I tell people all the time. It's not like we're trying to go anywhere. We've already been there. It's just that you have been tricked into believing that you're not there. So you don't have nowhere to go. All you have to do is release. You know what I'm saying? Release yourself from your old thoughts. Like Yoda told you.
First World Order Radio, finally, we are on the air. No doubt. All right.
There's always going to be somebody in the building on First World Order Radio.
We get on into some of that order consciousness tonight.
First World Order Radio every Wednesday, 8 p.m.
We got to talk about what is taking place on the planet.
There's always going to be somebody in the building on First World Order Radio. First, we need to let you know we're going to be doing more shows, giving out more information on Wednesdays. Wednesday at 8 o'clock, we are now going to make this the hottest day of the week.
Preceding others in time, order, importance. The most prominent parts, voices, or instruments. Earthly state of human concerns in existence, an indefinite multitude, quantity, or distance. System regulates to bring about specifics in the group based on value and natural characteristics. Current radiates electromagnetistics of sound through the air, same as your thoughts transmits it. Preceding others in time, order, importance. The most prominent parts, voices, or instruments. Earthly state of human concerns in existence, an indefinite multitude, quantity, or distance. System regulates to bring about specifics in the group based on value and natural characteristics. Current radiates electromagnetistics of sound through the air, same as your thoughts transmits it.
You need to understand how magical this, something like this every Wednesday can become. So you need to start getting your calendar right, get your schedule right. You need to know our intention straight out.
All right, so these clues are given throughout the various languages was to piece the puzzle of this ancient mystery school back together again.
And what we plan on doing, both of us, is bringing y'all some surefire dynamite. We're going to take this level up a notch. We're going to have stuff to do here. This is not just going to be about philosophies and theories, shit that works.